Mobiiapp is a flexible mobile reporting platform that can access data from many sources. In this tutorial, we'll create a report from one of the simplest data sources, an Excel worksheet. In this tutorial, we'll cover creating a data set and uploading data from a worksheet, creating a dashboard page, creating a report, publishing the dashboard page, accessing the dashboard page from the mobile application, and adding views to the report directly on the mobile application. Mobiiapp can use an Excel worksheet as a data source. The worksheet should contain tabular data without subtotals or totals, and the first row should contain column names to be used in the report. First, let's log into the Mobiiapp website using your previously created account information. Excel worksheets are handled by Mobiiapp's XData or External Data adapter. The first step is to create a data set from the Excel worksheet. This data set contains the data as well as information about column, data types, etc. Let's select Add Dataset to add a new data set. Enter a unique name for your dataset. Select Direct as the data source will be an uploaded file. Then click Choose File to select the Excel file to be uploaded. After you've selected your file, click Add Dataset to save the new dataset. We see that the new dataset has been added. Let's click Edit to configure the properties of the new dataset. The main task here is to select the columns that will be used for filtering. Doing this allows Mobiiapp to perform filtering on the server to speed up processing. We've now finished creating the dataset containing the data from our Excel spreadsheet. The next step is to create a dashboard page. A dashboard page can contain up to 10 reports, and reports on a dashboard page may share the same prompts to give you a consistent view of the data. Click on Page under the XData Adapter section to add a new dashboard page. Enter a name for your page and click Add Page to continue. Now let's select the page to modify its content. As mentioned, dashboard pages may contain up to 10 reports. Let's add a report by clicking the Add Report/Prompt and selecting Report as the object type. Enter a unique name for the report and make sure that the data set we created in the previous step is selected as the report source. This creates a simple baseline report that we will enhance later in this exercise. Now we are going to add a prompt to the page which will allow the user to filter the data in the report. Click Add Report Prompt, and this time we'll select Prompt as the object type. Fill in the name and click Add to finish. Each prompt can contain one or more filters. To add a filter, click Add Prompt Filter. Select the field that will be used in the filter from the drop-down. The default operator is in, which allows you to select multiple values. For the input control, let's select a drop-down box. Then make sure that the data set is set to the one we created earlier and select Multi to allow multiple selections. Click Next to continue. Then click Save to save the filter. We can see that the filter has been added to the prompt and is ready for use. We have now successfully created a data set, a dashboard page, and our first report. We now need to publish the page to make it accessible on mobile devices. To do this, select Mobiiapp from the menu and then select Catalog. The catalog provides a tree-like structure for publishing our dashboard pages. Let's start by adding a top-level folder named Demo. Now click on the newly created folder to drill into its content. Within the Demo folder, we will add the dashboard page. Make sure that the adapter type is Xdata and select the page that we created earlier in this exercise. Then click Add to complete the process. The dashboard page has now been added to the catalog. Let's switch over to our mobile device and access the content that we have just created. Log in with the same account we used earlier in the exercise. Once logged in, we can see the folder that we created in the navigation pane. Click on the folder to display its content. We see our demo report displayed in a simple tabular format. This is the default format created for our report, but we can spice it up by adding different views, including graphs and maps. Let's start by adding a new pie chart view to the report. Tap the ellipsis button on the top right of the screen to get started. We see that this dashboard page contains only one report. Let's expand the report by tapping on it. The report editor contains a selection for views and columns. Let's first look at the columns. This section displays information about each column in the dataset that we created earlier. Some of the more common tasks here are to specify aggregation rules for additive columns such as sales amounts or volumes. There's also a special field named Count. If you want to produce summary views that count records, select the checkbox next to this field. Let's change the aggregation rule for the total field to Sum. Let's move on to the fun stuff. Tap the plus button at the top right of the screen to add a new view to the report. Let's change the view name and select Chart as the view type. There are a number of chart types, but let's select Pie Chart for this exercise. Each chart type requires that we specify a series and/or category as well as a measure. Let's set Sales Rep as the series and Total as the measure. Then tap Done to finish editing. We can reorder the views by dragging the pie chart above the default view. Then tap Preview to see what the new view will look like. Now we see the new view displayed first and that the report has multiple views. Tap the X button to close the preview. Then tap Save to save the changes. We now see our report with both views displayed. We can manipulate what series are displayed directly on the legend and view detailed information on each slice by tapping on it. Let's tap the ellipsis button and look at the prompt that we created earlier in the exercise. We see that there is a drop-down box containing all of the values for the sales rep. We can change the selection and tap Go to apply the filters. We can see that the filters have now been applied to both views of the report. So there you have it. We've learned to upload data from Excel, create a dashboard page and report, and publish it to the Mobiiapp catalog. We've also learned to modify reports directly on the mobile device to add intuitive and useful views of the data. Thank you for taking time to experience a few of the exciting features of Mobiiapp.